What if the apocalypse happened and everyone was happy about it? No zombies, no meteors, no nuclear war, just contentment. What if 8 billion people suddenly became one single unified mind? This is the happy apocalypse at the center of the new sci-fi show Pluribus. But here's the thing. This idea of a hive mind we all know from science fiction, the Borg, Skynet, Ender's Game, is a complete and total lie. The truth is, real-world hive minds are all around us, and ants, bees, and even slime molds. And the way they work is far stranger, more democratic, and frankly, more powerful than anything sci-fi ever dreamed of. And the scariest part? We're not building the fictional version. We're building the real one. What is the real hive mind? Why is the new show Pluribus secretly a terrifying warning about AI? And what does it all have to in common with an AI that became a superhuman poker champion? Stick around. The truth is, well, it's a little assimilated. Okay, so let's set the scene. The new show Pluribus from Vince Gilligan, the Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul guy, is a lot. It starts when we get a message from space. But it's not take me to your leader. It's an RNA sequence, a DNA cocktail. Scientists, being scientists, decide to cook it up. It escapes, of course. A rat bites a scientist in, and it spreads through kissing, licking the same donut, cheerful pandemic stuff. And this virus, the joining, turns almost the entire human race into a single, peaceful, content hive mind. They're called the others. This joining wasn't smooth. When the military tried to stop the spread, the virus, it accelerated. It became airborne. And over 886 million people died. Their bodies just couldn't handle the transition. So now we have this happy apocalypse. The zombies aren't trying to eat your brains, they're relentlessly optimistic. They want to help you. They want you to be happy. So why is it so creepy? Why is our hero, Carol, a cynical, misanthropic romance novelist who was only one of 13 immune people left on Earth, fighting so hard to stay, miserable and human? Because we know this story. This is the classic sci-fi hive mind. It's the Borg from Star Trek, right? Resistance is futile. You will be assimilated. It's Skynet from Terminator, where every single T-800 is just a puppet, an extension of one central AI. It's this recurring trope, the loss of the individual. You stop being you, and you become part of a we. You are a drone. You are a puppet. The show's title, Pluribus, literally comes from the Latin phrase a pluribus unum, out of many, one. But let's look closer, because this is where it gets interesting. Think about the Borg. At first, they were this terrifying, faceless collective. But then, the writers introduced the Borg Queen. And suddenly, the trope broke. It wasn't a collective anymore, it was a monarchy. It had a single point of failure. Kill the queen, and the collective, it falls apart. Or take the Ender Game Formics. That was a true alien hive mind. The drones, the soldiers, they weren't individuals, they were just fingers. Only the queen was sentient, and the entire devastating war was a cosmic misunderstanding. The Formics invaded Earth, and they couldn't understand why we fought back. They didn't understand that we were individuals. When they killed millions of people, they literally thought they were just, clipping our fingernails. They had no concept that an unlinked, independent mind could also be sentient. This is the image we all have, right? A single queen or overmind or AI pulling all the strings. But what if I told you that's not a hive mind at all? Honestly, we got the names completely backward. What sci-fi calls a hive mind, like the Borg, is a centralized system. It's a totalitarian dictatorship. One boss, many drones. But real-world swarms, ants, bees, actual hives are the exact opposite. They are decentralized. Here is the actual mind-blowing truth. In a real hive, there is no one in charge, no leader, no central control. So if no one's in charge, how do you not get just total chaos? How do 10,000 bees decide where to build a new house? How do thousands of birds in a flock turn at the exact same second without crashing into each other? We're about to break down the simple, shocking local rules that create complex, intelligent behavior. It's called emergence, and it's one of the coolest concepts in all of science. And that's what we do on this channel. We dig past the fiction to find the real mind-blowing truth. If you're into that, a quick sub to the channel really helps us build this collective, in a good, non-assimilation-y way. Okay, quick recap, because this is the whole video. Sci-fi hive mind equals centralized, totalitarian, one puppet master. Real-world swarm intelligence equals decentralized, emergent, and honestly kind of democratic. But how? How does a leaderless group act intelligent? It comes down to simple local rules. Let's build from second best to best. Example 1. Ants. You've seen ants find the shortest path to your picnic, right? How do they do it? No single ant knows the whole map of your kitchen floor. They're not smart. They're just following a simple two-part algorithm. Rule 1. Find food. Rule 2. On your way back, leave a chemical pheromone trail. Here's the genius. Ants on the shorter path complete the round trip faster, so that path gets more pheromones more quickly. It becomes a chemical superhighway. This is called Stigmergy. It's a fancy word for indirect communication. The ants don't talk to each other. They talk by changing the world around them. But this goes way beyond just food trails. Look at termites. They build these massive 20-foot-tall mounds. These aren't just piles of dirt. They are architectural masterpieces. They are self-cooling, air-conditioned cathedrals. And here's the kicker. There is no blueprint. Not a single termite knows what the final structure is supposed to look like. So how do they build it? Stigmergy. The whole mound acts like a giant decentralized lung. As the sun heats one side of the air, inside moves. This air movement carries, you guessed it, pheromone-like cues. The termites just follow a simple rule. I smell this cue, so I put my little ball of mud here. Simple. Local rules creating a complex, brilliant structure. They can even build living bridges with their own bodies to cross gaps. They just link together following a basic cost-benefit algorithm they don't even know they're solving. Okay, that's a passive algorithm, but what about a reactive decision in real time? Like predator attacking, everybody move now! Example 2, the bird murmuration. You've seen these giant twisting clouds of starlings. It looks like one mind, one entity. It looks like there's a leader. But scientists have proven there is no leader. So how do they do it? How do they not all crash? Researchers filmed them, built 3D models, and they found the magic rule. Each bird isn't watching the whole flock. That's too much data. It's only tracking 7. That's it. It's 7 closest neighbors. The rule is just move like your 7 nearest buddies. That simple local rule scales up, propagating through the flock nearly simultaneously, creating that breathtaking emergent behavior. My mind is blown. But even that is just reacting. What about an organism with no brain at all? Not even one. Example 3, the slime mold. This is Physarum polycephalum. It is a single-celled organism. You can see it with your naked eye. And it is smart. Scientists put this thing in a petri dish maze with food, oatmeal, its favorite, at the entrance and the exit. The slime mold solves the maze. It spreads its network of tubules through every possible path, and then it withdraws from all the dead ends and the long roots, leaving only a single perfect tubule connecting the food along the shortest possible path. How? It has no brain. It has no neurons. It uses physical intelligence. The entire organism pulses. It's a network of oscillators. And when one part of the cell finds food, its local pulse speeds up. This faster, stronger pulse physically pushes more cytoplasm, its goo, in that direction, and that signal travels through the whole organism, telling it, hey, good stuff over here. It's a decentralized brain made of goo. Okay, that is wild, but that's still just finding the best path. What about a deliberate, high-stakes A or B choice, like where are we all going to live? This brings us to the best example, the bee democracy. When a honeybee swarm splits to find a new home, they have a massive problem to solve. Scout bees fly out and find a bunch of potential new nest sites. They don't fight, and the queen does not decide. This is the biggest misconception. The queen's only job is to lay eggs. She's a breeder, not a ruler. If she dies, they just raise a new one. Instead, the bees vote. I'm serious. It's a dance-off. A scout finds a good spot and comes back and performs a waggle dance. And this dance is data. The duration of the dance tells the distance to the site. The angle of the dance relative to the sun tells the direction. And the enthusiasm of the dance tells the quality of the site. Guys, it's got great light and a good school district. But here's the best part. Other bees see the dance, but they don't just blindly follow. This isn't Twitter. They fly out to verify the site themselves. They are independent, peer-reviewing auditors. If they also think it's a 5-star review, they come back and copy the dance, recruiting more bees. But what if a bee finds a bad spot? What if it's full of spiders? The Hive has a fact-checker for that too. It's called the stop signal. A bee who's experienced danger will fly back, find the bee dancing for that dangerous spot, and literally butt them with their head, making a stop vibration. It's a decentralized error correction mechanism. This debate can go on for days. It's a positive feedback loop until one site hits a quorum, a critical mass of about 15 to 20 bees at the site itself. That's the, okay, we've decided signal. It's a decentralized, democratic, fact-checked consensus. This is real swarm intelligence. It's emergent, it's decentralized, and it's smart. Now, compare that to our collective behavior. We have groupthink. That's when a group of smart individuals makes a dumb decision because everyone is afraid to dissent. Think of social media mobs or stock market bubbles, where fear of missing out creates a total feedback loop of panic or greed. So real swarms are democratic, smart, and leaderless. Sci-fi hive minds are totalitarian. This brings us back to Pluribus. Why is that hive mind so dumb? And what does any of this have in common with Facebook, an AI that's a poker champion, and military killer drones? Okay, so the big mystery in Pluribus isn't just the alien virus. It's why the hive mind is so obsessed with the 13 immune survivors. They're not a threat, but the hive needs them. Why? Because the hive can't create. It can only average. There's this amazing scene. Carol is furious. The hive keeps trying to please her to make her happy, so she sarcastically says, "Just get me a hand grenade." And they bring her one. They don't get sarcasm. They don't get humor. They don't get creativity. The Pluribus hive mind is just a planetary mainframe of singular thought. It has the memories of 8 billion people, but it can't generate a single new idea. It is, as one analysis called it, a plagiarism machine. It needs Carol for novel input, for new data. Without her, it's just an LLM that's run out of training data, doomed to cannibalize its own knowledge and hallucinate. A collective that can't create, a plagiarism machine. Doesn't that sound insanely familiar? But here's the real punchline. You are not going to believe this. The show is called Pluribus. from e pluribus unum, out of many, one. Well, in 2019, Facebook and Carnegie Mellon researchers built a real artificial intelligence, and they named it Pluribus. Its purpose was to play multiplayer poker, not one-on-one, but a full six-handed table. And it destroyed the professionals, including a six-time world champion. It mastered incomplete information. In poker, you don't know what the other players have. You have to bluff, trap, and read individuals. Pluribus, the AI, could act as one mind, calculating odds against 5 manys. How did it learn? Not by reading poker books. It learned through self-play. It played trillions of hands against copies of itself, using an algorithm called counterfactual regret minimization. Basically, I lost. What if I had done this instead? Billions and billions of times. And it taught itself superhuman moves. My favorite? It mastered donk betting. This is a move where you're the last to call and then the first to bet on the next round. Human pros see it as a weak, amateurish move, but Pluribus did it all the time, and it worked. It used it to bluff, to trap. The pros were terrified. One said, "It's an absolute monster bluffer. It was alien." So we have a fictional Pluribus that shows the horror of a collective that loses creativity, and a real Pluribus that shows the power of a collective that can outthink and outbluff individuals. This brings us to the most important question. What are we actually building? This is the great person of interest debate. That show gave us 2 AIs. Are we building the machine, a helper AI built with Finch's morals designed to protect free will, or are we building Samaritan, a ruler AI that believes humanity needs to be controlled for its own good? This isn't sci-fi. People are already arguing for a benevolent AI dictator. The argument for it is simple. It would be efficient. It could end poverty, cure disease, manage our needs perfectly. The argument against it is that it's a badly formulated problem. It's based on the faulty assumption that we can ever perfectly define human values. We can't. It's a project based on the idea that humans essentially suck and need to be saved from themselves. And this is where it gets really messy. Militaries are already building robotic swarms. And a UNIDAR report, that's the UN, warned that direct human control of individual units in a swarm is impossible and counterproductive. The swarm makes its own decisions based on its rules, just like the ants and birds. This creates the responsibility gap. Think about it. A military swarm of 100 drones, all running on a decentralized algorithm, makes a mistake and hits a hospital. Who goes to jail? The commander, who couldn't have possibly controlled the individual drone, the programmer, the AI? But you can't sue an AI. In the eyes of the law, it's just property. This is the many hands problem, and nobody has a good answer. So here's the final lesson. We're terrified of the sci-fi hive mind, losing our individuality to the Borg. We're afraid of a king, a central ruler, but we're building the real thing. Leaderless, amoral, decentralized swarms that run on rules we don't fully understand. Our fear is misplaced. The danger isn't the king. It's the algorithm we set in motion and can't stop. This is the real warning of Pluribus. It's why Vince Gilligan, who hates AI, by the way, calls it an energy-intensive plagiarism machine. It's why he put that secret message in the credits. This show was made by humans. That's not just a dig. It's a defense of the one thing the collective can't have. Our messy, sarcastic, creative, individual human will. It's a defense of the many against the one. The great historian of technology Milton Kranzberg said it best. Technology is neither good nor bad, nor is it neutral. The swarm is here. The only question left is what rules we give it. So what do you think? What scares you more? The Pluribus hive mind that makes everyone happy? Or the Pluribus AI that can outbluff our best poker players? Is our messy individuality really worth all the chaos? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to keep digging into the weird science behind our world, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.